flannel, flared pants, pedal pushers, cargo pants, turtlenecks, crop tops, chokers, bikers jackets, and denim everything. The 90s fashion was all that and a bag of chips. If the previous decade rocked the flashy outfits, the 90s was all about this relaxed and easygoing style. With the 90s fashion making a comeback now, you might want to cop the look as well. So join me as we revisit the lookbook that made the 90s style the badass that it was. I'm Robi Domingo, and this is The 90s Show.
The 90s was an exciting time for fashion. With influences from the 80s slowly fading away, the new decade started to form its own identity. There were plenty and diverse influences from the characters of hit TV shows like Friends, musical acts like Spice Girls and Backstreet Boys, and top models like Naomi Campbell and Cindy Crawford. The things that they wore soon ended up in everyone's closet.
It gets shown in the runways. It's London, Milan, Paris, then New York. It will take about 2 to 3 years for that to trickle down to the streets. By the time it's in the streets, the runways are showing the opposite thing already.
You mean what we're wearing now out in the streets was something that was introduced 3 years ago?
Yes.
Wow.
Because it takes a while for your eye to get used to it. We sift through it and say, okay, what would be good for the Filipina? What would be good for the women in general here? And then we bring it.
If someone were to raid a closet back in the 90s, they would have found pieces like leather jackets, acid wash jeans, plaid blazer and skirts, baggy pants, flannels, and graphic tees among others. Those were the staples in everyone's lookbook back then. 90s style expert Elsa Clinch has this to say.
The challenge is really keeping up with what's happening around the world in both fashion, beauty, accessories, home design, fabrics, all the many aspects of design that make life very important or very comfortable.
Teen idol Jolina Magdangal declared fashion independence by showcasing her signature style. From colorful hair streaks to mismatched clothing items, who could forget that butterfly clip that flapped its wings with every bob of her head?
Para sa akin, mas makulay, mas masaya. Wala akong pakialam kung nakapalda ako habang naka-bell-bottom pants ako. At kung ano man yung sabihin lang, okay na okay lang sa akin. Kasi ini-enjoy ko yun. Tapos meron ako nakitang boutique dito sa Pilipinas na nagdadala siya ng mga Japanese na mga fashion damit, accessories, lahat. Tapos talagang pinupuntahan ko lagi hanggang sa nakita niya na sobra akong suki doon. Sponsoran na talaga ako. Dahil lahat ng isuot ko na galing doon na nabibili. So, yun siguro nung time na yun nasa Japanese style yung aking inspiration.
Sineskwela.
Because she was seen daily on television, every woman wanted a piece of her outfit or accessories.
Dati walang stylist eh. Walang stylist. Dala mo lahat. Crate ako. Accessories, pambahay, pang-alis, sapatos. Ang talagang alam kong na-enjoy ko ang pagiging very Jolina ko. Arriba. Kasi yun yung character ko eh. At gimmick. Dahil sa gimmick, si Essie doon mananahi eh. Yun yung role ko eh. Tapos doon ako talaga umaayos. Pag binabasa ko yung script, aayusin ko talaga yung sequence no na pinakamahabang scene na aabot yung damit ko na makikita nila sa 5 eksena. Doon ko ngayon isasaksak lahat ng gusto ko. And I think, baka kaya the next day, sinusundan nila dahil baka na-feel nila yung joy and happiness na pag sinuot mo to, parang masama. Walang masama. Nasa TV pa rin naman ako, di ba?
Her sense of style was initially dismissed as jologs, an urban slang word that means cheap or tacky. Though her non-conformist aesthetic became polarizing, fashionable for some and baduy for others, the 90s generation was still fascinated by and even mimicked every look that she served.
Alam mo, nung sinasabi nila sa akin yun, na jologs ka, thank you! Ang saya ko. Na hindi ko nga naisip bakit nila dinikit ang word na jolog sa Jolina organization. Very proud ako doon na hindi mo kailangan gumastos. So parang sa akin nun, kung anong makita mo sa bahay, pwede mo gamitin at pwede kang maging fashionable. Yun yung sa akin nun. Kaya kahit binabato nila na ganito, baduy yung ganito, okay lang. Eh ba't kayo sumusunod? Or bakit maraming naka-butterfly, di ba?
Jolina developed a style that not only dominated the decade, but was also copied by many, from the fashion-forward to the pedestrian. The lookbook that came out of it was interesting to say the least.
People are becoming more innovative in terms of materials. So you can buy cheap materials in Divisoria and put it together and make it look pretty stylish. The individual comes up with his or her own style.
Fashion was something that evolved along with the times. At the turn of the new millennium, new fashion trends emerged.
Anong klaseng damit ang hinahanap mo?
Sexy.
Palagay ko, iikli ang mga damit. Kasi reaction lang to kasi sa tinatagal-tagal na panahon, lahat ng mga damit natin, puro mahahaba.
But being fashion-forward was more about knowing yourself than simply going against what was in.
Big shopping malls have mushroomed around Metro Manila.
Fashion independence is knowing yourself, knowing what suits you. Every one of us has a style which comes from our inner personality. So you need to have your little touch of uniqueness.
A famous saying in fashion is, one day you're in, the next day you're out. But some trends are never out of style, especially now that throwbacks are a thing.
Tutuwa ako kasi kahit sabihin mong mommy na ako ngayon, meron pa rin a very, very Jolina sa aking puso. At hindi ko man bonggang mailabas sa ngayon na sa akin yon dahil syempre nanay na rin ako. Pero alam kong nailalabas ko sa iba-ibang bagay. It's very parang flattering at saka nakaka-proud na maging icon ka. Tuwing may pa-throwback na 90's, parang papasok sa isip nila ay Jolina. Or sabihin na, ay, very, very Jolina ka ngayon. So I guess meron talaga akong naiambag nung panahon natin, nung 90's.
Whatever the outside influences dictate, fashion is a personal choice. It is a way of expressing yourself and telling your story, who we are and who we want to be. The clothes that we wear represent much more than the pieces of garments thrown together to create this look. With them, we carry our culture, society, and our heritage. Knowing that, what will you wear today? Who will you choose to show up as? Well, I choose to show as me, Robi, because being comfortable in your own skin is and will always be the new fashion. Join us again next week for another fun episode. I'm Robi Domingo, and this is the 90's Show. Cardo. CLL. Yo.